A lot of people under the misconception that if you have a better camera, you will take better photos or make better videos. I mean, for some part it is true, because if you have a more expensive camera and it has better features, you can take or make better videos. Everybody has gone through this phase, I think. If you see someone with better camera and you will be like, oh, if I had that camera or if I had that one, I would make better videos or take better pictures. I have done it too in the past. But it is not true that if you have a better camera, you will instantly take better photos or make better videos. It's not the camera that takes the photo or makes the video. It is you as a photographer or filmmaker that does that. So if you're just starting out in photography or filmmaking and you don't know what composition is or lighting or all of those things that make a video or picture better, they can hand you a better camera like a 1DX Mark II or a Red camera, and you will still take photos or videos. What if someone who has been taking photos for a long time now has a crappy camera? Could he or she still take good photos? I have found this Sony Cybershot. It is I don't even see the name on it, DSC-W1. This model is from 2004. Yeah, 15 years ago. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how long ago 15 years was? I mean, let me just give you an example of things that came out in 2004. Facebook was founded in 2004. MySpace was launched in 2004. Google acquired Picasa. If she doesn't know what Picasa is, she's too young for you, bruh. Motorola Razr V3 came out in 2004. Michael Phelps won 6 gold medals and 2 bronze medals in the Summer Olympics. Usher's single Yeah came out in 2004. Janet Jackson's boob became the highlight of Super Bowl's halftime show. Kanye West released the College Dropout album. Lost, the TV show, came out in 2004. Still hate that ending. And The Incredibles also came out in theaters in 2004. I'm gonna tell you the specs about this camera, and then I'm gonna show you the pictures and tell you about the things that I liked about the camera and the things I hated about the camera. The specs, I mean, this camera, like I said, is a 5.1 megapixel camera. The maximum aperture of this camera is f2.8 and 5.2. Auto, 100, 200, and 400 ISO. You need 2 AA batteries for this camera. The camera itself came with 2 rechargeable batteries. I couldn't find them anymore. Focal length of this camera is 38 to 114 millimeters. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the pictures that I took with this camera. So the first picture is of a ferry. As you can see, it has that like very digital look, I find. Dynamic range, as you could have expected, is not very good on this camera. You get a lot of grain immediately. I really don't like that digital look that this camera gives, but I mean, it's a 5 megapixel camera from 2004. Composition, pretty good. The lighting was harsh. It was midday, but still got a decent picture of this ferry. The second picture is a church in the city. Composition wise, I like this picture because it gives you the feeling that you're standing there looking at the church with me while I was taking the picture. You can see that there's a lot of noise, but overall I like the editing. If you want to take a photo and then give it like a old film look, this camera is pretty good to do that. I mean, it gives you like the old feeling besides the editing. So I mean, it is a fine picture. It's just noisy, but it is a good picture. Next picture, I wanted to test out the macro, so I got very close to these flowers, and here you can see that the macro is also good. Focus is very good. The image is pretty sharp for a macro. I was standing like 20 to 30 centimeters from this flower without zoom. Next is a picture of a friend of mine, Najila. Big up to her for helping me out with this video. I like this portrait of her. The background is an artwork from a picture that I took for her business. She has a head wrap business, African printed head wraps. I will link it below so you can check it out. We did like a photo shoot, and from one of the pictures of the photo shoot, someone did this art wall behind her. I like the photo. It looks pretty okay. It's noisy, but if you look at it from afar, you would think that it was taken from a better camera. The next photo is a portrait of Najila also. I wanted to like separate her from the background because this camera has an aperture of 2.8 2.8, so I was like, I wanted to see if you can separate the subject from the background, because 2.8 you can get blurred backgrounds. With this one I got closer and it worked pretty good. So I think this is a pretty good picture. The background is blurred out like I wanted. Yeah, the colors are great. Lighting, I like the lighting. So to get that blurred background with this camera, you have to get pretty close to the subject. Moving on to the things I like about this camera, the one thing I really liked about this camera is that you can shoot manual. This camera is a camera from 2004, a point and shoot, and you can shoot manual. You can also do manual focus with this one. There are 6 presets in here. I think you can choose the manual focus that you want with the 6 presets that are embedded in this camera. Another thing that really surprised me about this camera is that the minimum shutter speed is 30 seconds. I mean, 30 seconds means that you can shoot long exposure photography with this camera. 30 seconds on this 2004. You can shoot long exposure photography with this camera. It is insane. Last but not least, I like that this camera has a histogram, so you can check your exposure before you shoot. Moving on to the things that I really hate about this camera. It has this memory card. It is the Memory Stick Duo. It comes with an adapter and you have the memory card. I don't understand why you cannot make a camera that you can insert the memory card in it. So you need an adapter to put the memory card in, and then you can put the memory card in the camera. I don't get it. Why Sony? Why did you do this? Why did you do this to this camera? It is not normal. I don't get it. The second thing that I didn't like about this camera is when you take a picture, you can like press here and you can check out the last picture you took. But if you took like 3-4 pictures, you have to turn the dial here. You cannot press a button and just scroll through. You have to always turn this dial, go to play, and then look at your pictures, and then turn it back to auto or manual. I mean, if you shoot auto, it is not a problem because the second option is play, so it's just. But if you shoot manual, you have to turn it 3 times counterclockwise or clockwise. You have to turn it 3 times clockwise to look at your pictures, and then 3 times counterclockwise to shoot again. So that's one thing I found really annoying about this camera. One more thing that really annoyed me about this camera is that it does not have a grid. I really like a grid because it helps me set up my shot, get a better composition, but this camera doesn't come with a grid. You cannot turn on a grid. So I mean, yeah, for me that's a no-no. Last but not least, one thing that didn't annoy me but I was like, it's a pity that it doesn't do that, is that it doesn't shoot RAW. If it did, I would have been like, mind blown. But it doesn't shoot RAW, and I expected that it doesn't shoot RAW because it is a point and shoot from 2004. It only shoots JPEG, but yeah, I mean, I expected that already. So who is this camera for? Is it for a professional photographer? I would say no, it is not. It is not for a professional photographer. I wouldn't even recommend it to someone who just want to take like family photos or photos on occasion of a party or whatever. I wouldn't recommend it. It is really outdated. If you want to take photos that have like the aesthetic of old photos, yeah, sure. I mean, it is a good option. You don't have to do a lot in post editing. If you have a child who wants to have a camera and you're like, I don't want to spend too much on a camera, I mean, I would buy it. I bet if this falls, it won't break. So professional photographers, stay away. Amateur photographers, stay away. Kids, you would love it. I don't think kids would love this. I'm just spitballing stuff. Anyway, if you're a professional photographer or filmmaker, I would recommend to do this exercise. Find an old camera and just make a video or take pictures. You know, this will help you to be more creative. Get an old camera, take photos, make a vlog or video or whatever, and just try to be creative. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like this video, comment down below what you thought of this video. Let me know in the comments if I should do more of these videos, compare this camera with another camera. Let me know. Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, follow me on my other social medias. I'm gonna put it on the screen right here right now. I'm just gonna wait for them to like go away, and I'll see you guys in the next video.